Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Margaret, or Margaret Corleone Blues, and I love Fall Out Boy, and their new album, So Much for Stardust, came out a couple months ago, and like a month before that, I did a video talking about all the movie references and their songs throughout the years. That's something famous that Fall Out Boy does, put a lot of movie references in their videos and stuff like that. So I did a video on that, and I said in the video that if more stuff happened after So Much for Stardust was officially released, because at that point filming the video, only Heartbreak Feels So Good was the last thing that had come out. So I said, hey, if there's anything else that happens, I will make a whole video on the album. And a lot more happened. Pete once set me up for failure. So today I am going to talk about every movie reference in So Much for Stardust, going from the promo and going through each of the songs. So starting with the promo for the album, Fall Out Boy 8, before they announced that it was So Much for Stardust, was announced in November of 2022 when Fall Out Boy put an ad in the Chicago Tribune that said Fob 8 and then had the smiley face, half brownie face, yin yang thing from their promo, and it said Draco. Okay, sorry, that was a cat emergency. So Fall Out Boy's promo for the new album said, if you build it, they will come. And that was very blatantly a reference to Field of Dreams and the line, if you build it, he will come. Then, like a couple weeks after that, some fans started getting postcards in the mail that said, welcome to Pink Seashell Beach, and people quickly figured out that was a reference to the movie Reality Bites and Ethan Hawke's monologue about a pink seashell that his dad gave him when he was little. And then Pete Wentz was wearing a lot of Heat shirts, the Heat the movie with Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, all those people. Great movie, one of my favorite movies ever. And people thought that was something hinting for the album, but that has not come to fruition yet, if at all. So I don't know. I mean, it's a popular movie, so it might have just been a coincidence. People thought it was an Easter egg. The only thing I can really think of so far, unless they're planning on releasing like another music video or something with Heat references, is just kind of the duality theme of the album, because that's a big theme in Heat, is kind of Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are kind of two sides of the same coin. So let's go through each track, talk about any references in the songs or the videos or the posters. And the posters, definitely the posters. Okay, first song on the album, Love from the Other Side. This did not get a poster like the other songs did, unfortunately, because I think they would have used Ghostbusters in it, because the line Love from the Other Side of the Apocalypse is a reference to Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? Particularly at the final battle with Gozer, when Venkman says, see you on the other side, Ray. And Venkman says, see you on the other side, Ray. And then pew, 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 pew. Boom. Everyone's covered in marshmallows. The end. And then they released the video as well, and that had references to Neverending Story, Edward Scissorhands, Princess Bride, and Ghostbusters again. Pete Wentz posted on Instagram the Neverending Story poster, Edward Scissorhands poster, and Princess Bride poster. So Neverending Story and Princess Bride, it's just kind of like this kind of medieval fairy tale that's very reminiscent of On an Adventure, kind of reminiscent of those two movies. And then Edward Scissorhands, the music video opens up with Pete talking to supposedly his granddaughter, and he's made up in like old people makeup, and he looks like Winona Ryder at the beginning of Edward Scissorhands. It's like the beginning of Edward Scissorhands, and then also telling the stories, kind of like the beginning of The Princess Bride. And they have to fight the wolf, and they have like the streams from Ghostbusters like come out of their instruments, and they cross the streams. Fall Out Boy saves the day. Next is Heartbreak Feels So Good, and the line, is there a word for bad miracles, is a reference to the movie Nope, Jordan Peele's movie that came out last year, which I still need to see. I've heard it's so amazing. That's like been on my watch list for so long. And there's a line, bad miracles, is there a word for that? And then the music video references the Blues Brothers, best movie ever. I'm so excited about this. So there's a scene, so basically the whole concept of this is that they are trying to get to a concert, but everybody is like after them, is mad at them and trying to kill them, kind of like the Blues Brothers in general. But then there's one particular scene where they're running, and then they get in an elevator, and just like the music stops, and there's just like, they're just standing all calmly in an elevator. Patrick and Andy are even wearing the Wayfarers like Jake and Elwood, and this is clearly supposed to be a reference to the Blues Brothers scene when Jake and Elwood, they get on the elevator and they're just kind of standing there, and Girlfriend Eponema starts playing and the elevator music, and then it's kind of spliced in with the police and all the people after them trying to get into the building too. And then they run out of the elevator to get Steven Spielberg to sign it for them, and then they get arrested, and then they sing Jailhouse Rock, and Jake looks really hot in his jailhouse pants. So yeah, I was so excited there was a Blues Brothers reference. So next is Hold Me Like a Grudge. This is the first song that they started doing the movie posters for, and this movie poster was Escape from New York. And then they released a music video, and it referenced Escape from New York, Back to the Future, and Nope very explicitly. Pete is dressed like Kurt Russell's character Snake all throughout the video. And then there's a rip in like the space-time continuum, which is obviously a Back to the Future reference. And then they all start disappearing, all their albums start disappearing, like how Marty's siblings and himself in the picture start disappearing. And then the Fall Out Boy starts disappearing too, just like Marty starts disappearing, and then they have to play on stage just like Marty so he can get his parents to kiss, so then he doesn't disappear. So very Back to the Future. Patrick's like giant hat is like sucking people up and is causing all this destruction. This is kind of a reference to Nope again, and how the alien kind of looks like a curtain or something like that. And then also it was kind of Blues Brothery, where like they have to go get the band back together and everybody's kind of working an odd job, and you know, they have to convince them that they have to play in the band again for like the good of humanity and all that good stuff. So the next song is Fake Out. The only reference with this is the poster, which is the Lost Boys, and the Lost Boys was previously referenced by Fall Out Boy, and the music video for A Little Less 16 Candles, A Little More Touch Me. That whole music video is based on the Lost Boys, so that was a cool callback. Okay, next is Heaven, Iowa, one of the best songs on the album in my personal opinion. This probably has the most movie references of all of them without having a music video. So Heaven, Iowa, the title itself comes from Field of Dreams. The line, "Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa." Also, the song mentions Mulholland Drive, which is a very famous street in LA that a lot of celebrities live on, but it's also a psychological thriller. And then also it mentions Moonlight Sonata, which is a song, but it's also another psychological thriller. So Pete Wentz was kind of in his psychological thriller era while writing the song. And then finally it mentions I Feel So, A Star Is Born. And it's talking about wine on the floor and stuff like that. It has a lot of themes of unaliving, self-deletion. And A Star Is Born always is about, in every version of A Star Is Born, the male lead ends up self-deleting, and he's an alcoholic. And then the poster they used for this movie was Field of Dreams. They have Pete Wentz edited over Kevin Costner. So next is So Good Right Now, and the poster they used for the movie is Akira, which is a Japanese animated movie, and it is about a nuclear bomb. Yay, fun. And then I had to also mention the lines "Till Our Engine Runs Out" and "Sneak In from the Cheap Seat." Those remind me of the Blues Brothers, and I could not say anything about it. I could not say something about it. I don't know if it's supposed to be referenced, but that's exactly what it reminds me of, how they have to drive till the engine runs out. They get to the Cook County assessor's office, and then the Bluesmobile goes kaput, and and then they have to sneak in from the cheap seats. They have to sneak in from the back to get to the stage so that the police don't get them, and the Good Boys don't get them, and Carrie Fisher doesn't get them when they get to the concert. So then next is Pink Seashell. So the poster for this is Ethan Hawke's Hamlet, but then it has pictures of him from other movies throughout the poster, and the Pink Seashell is literally just Ethan Hawke's monologue from Reality Bites about the pink seashell over music. And some people, I've seen a lot of people still think that it's Pete talking or it's Pete's spoken word, but no, it's Ethan Hawke. And he was also married to Uma Thurman, or they were just lovers, I don't know. But they're so Fall Out Boy is a song about Uma Thurman, and Maya Hawke from Stranger Things is their daughter. So maybe on the next album we'll have a song called Maya Hawke, I don't know. And then next is I Am My Own Muse. So the poster for this is the poster from Amadeus, and that movie was also previously referenced by Fall Out Boy with the song, my favorite Fall Out Boy song like ever, From Now On We Are Enemies. That is a quote from Amadeus, so that is something they have previously referenced. They have said that this song was inspired by Danny Elfman, and I was listening to this and I was like, yeah, I can see Jack Skellington sing this. Next is Flu Game, one of my other very favorite songs on the album. This poster is from Flight of the Navigator, which I have not seen. Yeah, I don't know a ton about it. It's like a kids movie from the 80s, and there's something about aliens, and there's an alien spaceship, and somebody has amnesia, and I don't know, something like that. Can somebody please tell me what this is? I looked up the plot, and I was like, I feel like I missed out on something. So maybe I'll watch that on the channel. But I also felt like it was worth mentioning that Flu Game is not a movie reference, the title of the song, but it is a sports reference to Michael Jordan, and it was one of like the Chicago Bulls like famous playoff games, and he had flu symptoms, and he still like kicked everybody's butts anyway. Okay, next is Baby Annihilation, which is Pete Wentz's actual spoken word, and the poster is Battle Royale. I love that movie. It's, if you like the Hunger Games, this was kind of like the precursor to the Hunger Games. And it's about a bunch of school children being put on an island, and they all have to kill each other. And I haven't watched it for a while, but it's a great, great movie. So, and the Kintsugi Kid, 10 Years, which is, I love that song so much. That song makes me cry. Like, every time I listen to it, poster for that is Never Ending Story. And, yeah. And finally, What a Time to Be Alive. The poster for this was Mad Max. This is like, I feel like a lot of these posters are all like most of them are like post-apocalyptic stuff. Even like Ghostbusters, I'd consider like an apocalyptic movie, because Gozer's trying to bring about the apocalypse, blah blah blah. But yeah, Mad Max is like one of like the ultimate post-apocalyptic movies. Like, it was a huge inspiration for Fallout and stuff like that. So they were really in there feeling their post-apocalyptic dystopian with this album, weren't they? And then finally, the final song, So Much for Stardust. The poster they used for this was the movie Dark City. I've not seen it yet. I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's like a cult classic, so I really want to watch that movie. I kind of wish they did posters for Love from the Other Side and Heartbreak Feels So Good. Even if they were already out, it just doesn't feel complete. I feel like they should have used Ghostbusters for Love from the Other Side, considering the other sideline is literally a reference to Ghostbusters. And then Heartbreak Feels So Good, they should have used the Blues Brothers, because they referenced that in the music video. I don't know if they're planning on making any more music videos or anything, so maybe if something else happens, maybe I'll make a short. Pete, don't set me up for failure again. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you would like to see. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe. And let me know what your favorite Fall Out Boy song is. Let me know what your favorite song on this album is. Mine goes back and forth. I really like Kintsugi Kid, Hold Me Like a Grudge, Heaven, Iowa. Like, all of them are so good. This album is so good. I was not disappointed. And some of these lyrics, I'm like, Pete Wentz, stop personally attacking me. I feel like he's spying on me in my bedroom, because I creepily relate to way too many of these lyrics. Pete Wentz, stop stalking me. Okay, stop writing songs about my life. It's getting creepy. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to share, any opinions on the movies or why they picked them or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. And of course, little Jake and I say bye.